What's up, everyone? We're back, and this time we are going to run through the 85cc classes, as with the mini senior classes and 85cc 10 to 12 and 10 to 12 limited. So we'll start right off with 85 10 to 12 limited. Again, we're just kind of reading off who was some of the first place finishers from the regionals. So these are some kids, I guess, to keep an eye out for or when you're watching the races on RacerX TV. So over these next week, starting next Tuesday, I believe is when they take off. So practice will be Monday. You can kind of watch some times and maybe get an idea of seeing if there's someone that didn't have a good regional, had some crashes or something that can kind of jump up in there. And I think there's gonna be a kid on this first list here that might be one of those kids that didn't have a good regional but still made it in. So we'll jump right in it with, I believe it's Devin Aubrey out of Washougal, Washington. Tritai Bachelor out of Mountain Home, Idaho. Cole Bleacha out of Fruta, Colorado. Kevin DePineho out of Bensalem, Pennsylvania. McCaden Fitch out of Albert, Colorado. Landon Gibson out of Peachtree City, Georgia. Darian Pine out of Montgomery, Texas. And then Vincent Way out of Marietta, California. So Vincent's one name I recognize just from his dad being pro. His dad doesn't push him really. I guess Dad pushes him to be good because he says, if you're not going to be good, if you're not going to try your best and be safe, about it, then why are we here? So he's definitely one kid to be looking out for. Landon Gibson that I read, he's, number 2. So typically it used to be wherever you finished in the top 10, you could run basically that single digit number or so. That would mean that Landon would have been last year in this class, probably as a 10 or 11-year-old, and if he would have got to run the running the number 2 this year. So he's going to definitely be a contender, I would say, a strong showing. And then a kid that got third at his region, Brennan Harrison, out of Jacksonville, Florida. He's number 5. So it would been another kid that, is kind of coming back to this class, probably was young last year and finished well. So those are kind of 3 kids, I guess, that might be a little bit higher or on my radar, I guess, for this class that I might be trying to pay attention to a little bit more. Vincent, definitely just because of his dad being a Michigan person and pro, he's definitely someone, and I think a lot of people will be watching to see how he does. So I'm going to highlight kind of these 3 kids that I'm thinking a little bit stronger just to see how well my thoughts are. And like I said, with now 85, we're getting into a little bit more consistency. We start seeing some kids can sweep motos, and win all 6 motos over the weekend, all 3 motos in the class type. So we'll definitely, they start to be a little bit more consistent, cleaning up the little bit of mistakes and stuff they make. So, I'll be interested to see if there's any kid that does that. If one of the 3 that I kind of high looking at, if there's some other kid that's gonna pull it out. So it'll be interesting to see as we start switching to these bigger bike classes and stuff as we move up on the list of those. So next we'll do class number 31. It is the 85cc 10 to 12 of class, and we'll run through Cole Blecha out of Fruta, Colorado. Seth Dennis out of Manola, Florida. Caden Dundee, Athens, Texas. Brandon Eden, Claremont, Florida. McCaden Fitch, Alberta, Colorado. Danny Robertson, Canada. Grayson Townsend, St. George, Utah. Landon Gibson is another returning rider. He got second in his region You got the Brennan Harrison coming back to this class as well, who's looks like made a, if it used to be wherever you finish, you got that number. So 6th and 7th could have been last year, so they could be looking for to be a little bit older coming into the class this year and stuff like that. So those could be a couple kids watching out for a little bit. So those two that didn't quite have a good region could jump up in there that didn't win. Kind of looking through Brandon Eden out of Claremont, Florida. Again, might have some training capabilities. And Seth Dennis out of Florida as well. I guess I just don't know the terrain and track well enough. I would think terrain's a little bit rockier, a little bit more hard pack out in Colorado. So there's two kids out of Colorado. Don't know what part of Canada Robertson's going to be coming from. I don't know the terrain out in St. George, Utah. And then Texas. I know they have a lot of tracks. He should be in shape, with the humidity and stuff. Shouldn't bother him. As typically, I would say Texas is a little bit warmer normally, as they've been having over 100 degrees temperatures and stuff like that. So we'll move on next into Mini Senior 2. This is the 13 to 15-year-old class. This is class number 33 on the list. And looking at Anaki Abrazoa out of Chile. I apologize. I'm probably ruining your name, and I apologize for that. Deacon Deno out of Malakoff, Texas. Nathan Hummel, St. Louis, Missouri. Braden Johnson, Orlando, Florida. Chase Lawton, Foster, Rhode Island. Danny Reed. It's Dannyn is what it shows. Reed, Payson, Utah. Cannon Richards, Estelle Manor, New Jersey. Max Shane out of Oceanside, California. Scan through for our single-digit numbers. Not recognizing, don't see any single-digit numbers for returning riders to this class. Don't see really anyone that stands out for name-wise that wouldn't have had a good finish. Kellen Humphrey out of Temecula, California. Temecula is a pretty popular area for moto. Anywhere really in Southern California is pretty strong showings for moto. Just have a lot of pro riders and stuff that are there. The industry is a lot there. I mean, we have seen recent history of them, teams moving out of there and stuff, kind of coming to Florida for the humidity. But so Deacon Deno out of Texas. Florida. Got some Northeast kids out of New Jersey and Rhode Island. Then Oceanside, California, one kid. So definitely, I think there's a lot of kids that, and there's probably even some that I'm missing, and that, again, could have had crappy results at the regional, but normally does better. So this class is pretty open, I think, for who's going to take it. I don't see one rider that stands out that I think is going to sweep this class. So I'm not going to select any main riders that I think is going to take over. I'm going to be watching because I think there's going to be either three different winners, or maybe a kid that wins a couple races and then has one bad moto or something, but still can get the overall. So I'll definitely watch this class as to see what's going on. So. Sorry, phone's ringing. All right, we'll jump back in with the last class of the 85s. We'll save Supermini to go with 125. So we'll finish this up with Mini Senior 1, 12 to 14. This is race number 32 or number 32 on the list. So for this class, you got winners from regionals. Caden Dundee, again out of Athens, Texas. Braden Johnson, Orlando, Florida. Chance Lawton out of Forest, Rhode Island. Cannon Richards out of Estelle Manor, New Jersey. Max Shane out of Oceanside, California. Cole Timbo out of Clemens, California. So quite a few, couple, California's, couple, quite a few of these kids seem to be like they won their classes also in the mini senior too. So I would say they both. Again, I'm not seeing any single digits for anyone. Definitely there could be, some of these kids again that's in second or third at their regional. Maybe even further down if, for some of those ones that were or top, 5, 6, some seventh. Sixth is typically where you got to kind of be to automatically make it in. And then you got to hope with your region if someone doesn't go in that class or something. So I would say that looking at it, again, I don't see a dominant person, but I'll definitely be watching to see, if someone can turn this year around into that dominant and, break out as they go forward. Because typically you're going to be moving from mini senior. Some are probably running mini senior and super mini. Some are, obviously 85 and super or this mini senior. So, you kind of got that two different age transitions. And a lot of times, after this year, you're going to go to super mini to big bike type of transition if you're not already in the super mini senior. So that's kind of what I see transitioning happening within the next year with a lot of these kids. Is that some will go and probably make the jump right to a big bike. Some will be making the jump to a super mini. Hey, so definitely be watching for who can be the breakout rider to. Oh, and I think this is kind of where industry starts looking to see if they're going to start giving you any little bit of help. I would say, it used to be 65s was where you're watching, then you would have a ride by 85. I have CCs, so now I think you're seeing again, it's more as you transition out of the super minis and 85s onto the big bikes. If you do a year on the 125 or something, maybe after that, seeing where you are coming out of like Schoolboy 1 or the 125 BC as you make the jump into 250B and 450B. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. We'll jump in. I didn't do this with the 65 class, but kind of look at the race schedule. 85, 10 to 12. First race is on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Mini senior is at 10:30 on Tuesday morning. Then we got 85, 10 to 12. Limited Wednesday at 9:30. And super mini. Oh, we haven't done super mini yet. So looking for where's mini senior 2. I might have missed those. Mini senior 2 was at 10:30. Mini senior 1 will be just after an intermission at 1:30 p.m. And these are central time. So if you're on the East Coast, that's 2:30. Mountain time would be 12:30, and then West Coast time or Pacific time would be like 11:30. I think that puts you, if I'm doing that right. So, and then as we move on throughout the week, like I said, 85, 10 to 12 limited is on 9:30 on Wednesday. 85, 10 to 12 is at 4 p.m. on Wednesday. Mini Senior 2 will be 6 p.m. Wednesday. Mini Senior 1 at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. 85, 10 to 12 limited at 3 p.m. Thursday. 85, 10 to 12, 11 a.m. on Friday. I think I said 85, 10 to 12, limited 3 p.m. on Thursday. So I got that one, 9 a.m. 85, 10 to 12, 11 a.m., Mini Senior 2 at 12:30, and Mini Senior 1 at 3:30. And Saturday, out of those classes, the only one I think is the 85cc 10 to 12 limited at 11:30. I don't think any of the other classes run on Saturday. So, all right, that's my wrap on the mini seniors and 85cc classes. Thanks for watching.